here at CrossCountry Mortgage with Stephenie Converse. So Stephenie, how long have you been a preferred lender for Elliott?
Most of my career, so over 15 years. When Mr. Elliott did end up coming here to Yuma, he picked us up as the preferred lender and been blessed ever since.
So what does it mean to be a preferred lender? Like, how does that work out for clients who are trying to buy an Elliott home?
It's a pro, right? For being a preferred lender, we have a huge responsibility, not just to the builder, but also to the clients. You know, there's a communication that goes behind the scenes that doesn't really stress everybody out. But we need to know construction-wise, when are we closing? How soon are we closing? Because sometimes the contracts could be long, or the contracts could be a short close of escrow. So communication is huge between lender and the builder all the time. To be the preferred lender, the builder has to really trust us to get deals done. That's our job. We need to get these deals done. You can come in and buy a home with another lender, that's fine. Usually you just lose builder incentives. That's just the way it is. My job is to still pre-qualify the buyers. That way, in case their lender is not able to close, we can still come in and get the deal closed. So
when we talk about having incentives through Elliott, so Elliott kind of walked us through different builder incentives they have, especially for their standing inventory. Can you kind of give us an example of like what those scenarios might look like as far as like what they could use incentive money towards, as far as maybe buying down rate and points and things like that?
Sure. So Elliott Homes, they always offer incentives for preferred lending. It's usually $4,500, which covers closing costs, right? Up to $4,500. If there's a standing inventory home, what that means is the home has been ready for a certain amount of days. Depending on that specific lot, that'll gauge how much that incentive is. We have incentives so big. I mean, we're talking $30,000 to $60,000 that a Yuma builder is willing to give to a client to improve their financial situation. Something that is appreciated by Mr. Elliott is he is willing not to take it off of the purchase price necessarily, because he doesn't want to hurt the people that have already purchased with him, right?
And deteriorate values of a neighborhood.
100%. He is very committed to anybody that has already purchased. So if you buy an Elliott home, you're in the Elliott family. So what he says is Steph, if I take $20,000 off of this purchase price, what is this actually doing for the buyer? It's changing his payment by $100. If I give them $20,000 incentives, what are we doing for the loan? Well, it's improving his payment by $200. So it is proven to be better to have the incentives go towards the loan transaction, buying down the rate, covering closing costs. Also, let's say that we hit the max on every kind of loan program. There's a max. On FHA, you can only spend up to 6% of the purchase price. If what Mr. Elliott is willing to offer is above that 6%, then you can go into, is there a fridge and washer dryer combo that I could get? So there are other incentives that you could get beyond lending. Right.
So can you give us an example of maybe like a recent loan that maybe they thought that something was out of their price range, and then once you kind of explained incentives and rate buy downs and things like that, can you kind of walk through Westwood Home Insurance? We kind of talked about that with the Leslie
huge.
Madison.
Huge. Okay. So this one it's super special. The client, they had goals. You always have a goal. Well, I need this payment. I also need to be out of pocket only X amount. And so it was really fun because I got to call her back and I always ask, well, what's your goal payment? And because I want to meet their expectations. In this scenario, the purchase price out at Los Broncos was higher than what they had been looking at. But what ended up happening is their payment was way under what they had been quoted and estimating at another property because of the incentives. So we're talking the incentives, we dropped down to a 3.99% interest rate. The payment dropped down for her over, I believe $400 was the difference. It was so cool to hear her say, oh my gosh, I can do this. I can do this. On top of that, Westwood Insurance. Mr. Elliott is a 5-star energy home builder. Insurance right now, as we all know, and all feel the pain of it, is tripled. So that does affect our mortgage payments. But because Mr. Elliott is a 5-star energy home builder, Westwood Insurance will insure the property. Not just because you don't have any claims, but it's because of the property, and it's usually on average is under $600 a year. That changes your payment by probably $50 to $60 a month.
And that's not something that you're going to see with either resale or some of the other builders in town, just because they are that 5-star energy certified and they know the Elliott product.
Right. Another thing that is really unique when you get a builder, put yourself back, right?
Mm-hmm.
My plan for this house is usually not to live in it for 30 years, right?
Right.
If you're younger, this is a stepping stone house and whatnot. This is an investment property. I'm going to live in it, but eventually I'm going to want to sell.
Right.
How is my house going to sit on the market against all these other houses in Yuma? And what makes an Elliott purchase different is Mr. Elliott puts brand new floor plans in each subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you put your house up for sale, you are unique to this market. You're not going against 50 other subdivisions over Yuma,
right, that have
with the
cookie
builders.
cutter floor plans.
100%. You are unique, and it's really cool. I mean, Elliott Homes, they sell really well.
Yeah.
When they do eventually rent out, they rent out well. But Mr. Elliott does not sell to investors. It is only primary and secondary homes.
Yeah,
which is
and
big.
that's even something that we see in listing descriptions when people do go to resell. Is we know that if somebody's reselling an Elliott home, they shout it from the rooftops. Like everybody knows the quality of an Elliott home. Everybody knows the energy efficiency of an Elliott home. So definitely, some really cool incentives happening. Yeah. So I know that we kind of talked about Elliott Homes in general, but what subdivisions are we working on right now? Like what subdivisions are you preferred lender on for Elliott right now?
So it's Las Broncas.
Okay.
And it's also, so Santana is a community, but there are 2 subdivisions within the Santana community.
Okay.
So Acacia and Camillo.
Okay.
And it's very systematic. Elliott Homes is very systematic. We meet as a team every single Tuesday with Mr. Elliott.
Yeah.
The construction team, everybody.
Yeah.
So we are very systematic. We close on time.
Yeah.
Another cool thing is walkthroughs. You get such good feedback with walkthroughs. You actually get to learn about the house, and we always call it blue taping. You don't really use that much blue tape on an Elliott walkthrough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty refreshing.
Yeah.
And it's nice because I'll call the client, hey, how'd the walkthrough go? Oh, it was great. So it's really cool. It's really cool for Yuma. And then you sign your loan docs, you do your walkthrough on the same day.
Okay.
And then we close 48 hours later.
Yeah.
So it's not like a rush. Everybody gets to enjoy the process of it.
Yeah. And I know that Elliott has shifted from calling things the walkthrough. Now it's like an orientation. So you actually get to do your orientation. Yep. They walk you through all of the energy efficiency features of the home. They show you how to use all the little trinkets, all the smart features. And we saw a lot of that when we talked to Madison and to Alexis. But all around, we kind of just wanted to explain how preferred lending worked and what kind of incentives the builders are offering and what an impact it really can have on your payment. So even if you think you're outpriced or if something isn't quite in your comfort zone as far as where the property is priced, kind of look at incentives and what's being offered, because buying down the rate and kind of like putting those incentives into things like landscaping, fridge washer, dryer, window coverings, those are all, really big expenses when you're buying a brand new house. But when you put those things into play, I think that, sometimes it surprises people how affordable that new construction can be. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So thank you for talking to us today.
Yeah, you're welcome.